Good evening. Come explore the unknown with us and enter the Chamber of Shadows, a podcast for the dark, haunting, and mysterious. I'm your host, Celine, and I am joined by my co host, Endora. Say hi, Endora.
Hello.
Okay. Well, this is your second episode where you're taking the lead. How do you feel about this?
I'm nervous. I hope you guys like it.
Okay.
I was really there were parts of this that while I was researching, it gave me pause a couple of times.
Okay.
So um it's a creepy story. And I think it's perfect for Halloween.
I agree. Also, by the way, by the time this is released, happy Halloween.
Oh, the happiest of Halloweens.
Happiest of
Yeah.
Halloweens. The veil is thin. We are thriving. Speaking to the dead.
I mean, yeah, I guess they speak to me just as much as I speak to them, but yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, go ahead. Tell us what we're talking about today.
So, have you ever heard of The Exorcism of Roland Doe?
No. No, I'm just kidding.
Recently, HBO did a little documentary about it. They shortened it up quite a bit. But Roland Doe is the original victim. He's the actual victim that the movie The Exorcist was based on.
Yes.
His name is not Roland Doe. That was
Right.
a name that the Catholic Church gave him because they kept a diary and they just didn't want to expose him to anything, any people, any criticisms, anything like that.
Right.
They were just trying to protect him from the public, basically driving him insane. So,
Now,
yeah,
I know he lived a long life, correct?
he did live a long life.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
And did we ever actually find out his name? Not that we need to share it or anything, but
Yes. Well, I'm
okay.
actually going to use his name
Okay.
because he is
Okay.
deceased.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if he died yet or not.
They didn't. They never released it until he died, but I think it leaked here and there.
Yeah.
There were a lot of witnesses to this case, so I'm sure people
Oh,
were talking.
yeah.
The diary was supposed to be kept secret, um, you know, the entirety of his life, and somehow it was leaked. Thank God it said Roland Doe in it,
Yeah.
or R. They referred to him.
R did.
So they didn't um, really bother him that much. But it was leaked in the 70s, and it had that fictitious name. So
Okay. Now, it's been a while before you jump into everything. It's been a hot minute since I have seen The Exorcist. Would you say, I know now I'm like, am I gonna watch it tonight? Um, would you say that The Exorcist did a good portrayal of his reality?
for that time, I would say it came pretty close.
Okay.
I
I
would
know movies
say
can do that embellishing and yeah.
right. Well, they replaced him with a little girl, and they
Yes.
changed the location. And of course, his head didn't actually spin. He didn't actually do a 360, but he did plenty of other things. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, he didn't. Somebody did.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Tell me more.
All right. Well, let's just get into it.
Awesome.
And you can just stop me whenever.
Okay.
Okay. Considered by many to be the first movie to truly terrify its audiences, The Exorcist brought the reality of the devil and possession to the big screen. Its strange effect on moviegoers are something we'd never seen. 1973 saw people waiting in line for hours to see this film, many of them passing out and vomiting and running out of the theater. The Catholic Church denounced the film, even though the pews were overflowing with backsliding parishioners trying to get right with God after viewing that film. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So The Exorcist was based on a true story, and that's the story I'm going to tell you today. It's the true story of an awkward, rambunctious 13-year-old, and his name was Ronald Hunkler.
Hunkler.
Hunkler. He is often referred to as Roland Doe in church records to protect his anonymity. Ronald's real name was not officially released until his death in 2020. He lived a long time.
So his
He had a
first
good
name
long
was
life.
Ronald? Wait, I'm thinking Roland. Never mind. So his
They
okay.
just switched the letters around.
Yeah, I'm like
What's that called? An anagram? Is that an
something like
anagram?
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, that's actually really smart.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
yeah, but like that's very, very like close and similar. Okay.
Close enough. Yeah.
Hunkler?
Hunkler. Yeah.
Ronald
Yep.
yeah, Ronald
Hunkler.
Hunkler
Yep.
was Roland Doe. Okay, got it, got it.
Yep. Roland lived in Cottage City, Maryland with his parents and his maternal grandmother, who spoke very little English. She was German.
Okay.
It was reported that Ronald's mother was extremely overbearing. This was her only child. The family was devout Lutheran. He had an aunt named Tilly, his father's sister. She was a spiritualist and also vibrant and fun. Having no children of her own, she doted on Ronald. He naturally gravitated towards her. An overbearing Odell was naturally jealous. Tilly and Ronald talked for hours while playing board games, so it was no surprise when she gave him a Ouija board game for Christmas. Because that's what they called it then, a game. I mean, I
Yeah.
think they call it that now.
I think it's still in like the game aisles.
Yeah. Yeah. She taught him how to use it, and they had lots of fun asking it questions and getting nonsensical answers. A strange dripping sound in Roland's room started on January 15th, 1949. Everyone searched, but they could not find the source. Then a few days later, scratching in the walls began. They thought the answer was mice in the wall, so they called in an exterminator who found nothing.
So other people were hearing this, or was it just him?
The whole house was hearing it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Um, and the exterminator actually heard it, but could
Oh,
find no
okay.
evidence of anything. Yeah. Yep. So January 26, 1949 brought terrible news. Aunt Tilly had passed away suddenly, and Ronald was devastated.
So this
That
was
night,
shortly after everything.
she died after it started.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of talk, which I'll touch on it a little bit, but there's a lot of talk about how this is all Aunt Tilly's fault. And
Okay. That
she
sounds
brought the
familiar.
Ouija board here and, all of those things. This actually started before she died. So
Right.
it's unlikely.
Okay.
Um, that night, Ronald retired to his room, exhausted and emotionally drained. Not long after, he shut off his lights. His parents heard banging on the ceiling, and then Ronald began screaming for help. They opened the door and found Ronald frozen in fear in his bed as it repeatedly shook and bounced off the floor. Odell panicked and climbed in with him, and as soon as she did, it stopped. I don't feel
Okay.
like that would have probably been my reaction. I probably wouldn't have
To
jumped in.
crawl
I
in the
probably
bed.
would have yanked him out of the bed, but I mean, you do what you got to do, girl. It worked. So Odell slept with him for the next few nights. The scratching in the walls became tapping and knocking. Odell thought she might have figured out the source. Tilly, is that you? The banging stopped.
Oh. Okay.
Tilly, if it's you, knock 3 times. 3 knocks on the wall. She repeated the question and received 3 knocks on the floor. The escalation of activity continued, no matter who was present. Relatives and family friends witnessed Ronald thrown against walls and dumped out of furniture. Several family members were present and saw one of the bed shaking episodes. When his parents entered the room, a dresser slid across the floor, blocking their exit. A Look, this is 49. This is when
Yeah,
dressers are
that's one
made
of
out of
them.
wood.
Yeah, literally.
Right.
Well, I wanna stop you there too because
Sure.
we talked about this a little bit in the Sally House episode, um, which I hope everybody enjoyed. I cut it down as much as I could. I couldn't, but that's kind of what people believe is going on with the Sally House is something evil or demonic portraying itself as a little girl. So it's interesting that you kind of see this with this case of it's portraying a family member, which again, demonic hauntings are very, very rare. But I have heard in those cases that they do take on kind of that either familial or someone or like something innocent like a child kind of situation to get let in, I guess, for lack of better terms.
Mhm, mhm. Well, the more you interact with them, the more they succeed,
Right.
so they're happy to knock on the wall, they don't mind.
Oh, yeah. Anything. Yeah. So I just thought that was interesting. 2 weeks in a
Yeah.
row, we kind of have that. But
Mhm.
okay.
Yep.
All right. Dresser. Probably like what, 100 pounds at
Oh,
least.
yeah. Yeah, and it's he they open the door, they see him in the bed, they walk into the room, it sort of slides across so they can't get out. I mean, they can't get it. They do get
Yeah, yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, yes. Yeah, that's creepy. That's creepy as hell.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Yeah. They thought the unseen force that they believed was Tilly was becoming more problematic. Really? Now it's problematic? Okay.
Yeah, it
They were
wasn't like, I don't know, like when the
I
bed
don't
was
know.
shaking and you jumped in the bed with a child. Like, now it's a problem? Okay.
Well, now you're messing with the furniture. That's expensive, and
Yeah.
we can have another kid. Okay.
Oh, shit.
They
Okay.
reached out to their Lutheran pastor, Reverend Schultz. Reverend Schultz suggested holy water and blessed candles. Unfortunately, the addition of the blessed items made matters much worse. Ronnie became withdrawn and depressed. His parents overheard him cursing and using foul obscenities in his sleep. Again, they reached out to Reverend Schultz. He suggested that Ronald speak to a psychologist. The family arranged for an appointment for Ronald to speak to someone and also a complete physical. Both professionals found him to be quite normal.
Which these are normal steps getting into exorcisms, in
Mhm,
case anybody
mhm, mhm,
doesn't
mhm.
know that. Like, you gotta do your due diligence.
Yeah, particularly, the Catholic Church has a
Yes.
very strong, stringent set of rules, and I mean, those rules are there for a reason. I don't need to know all the reasons, but I'm
Yeah.
happy to abide by them. I'm not even Catholic.
Yeah. I
So,
mean,
yeah, yes, okay. Reverend Schultz eventually suggested that they speak with a Catholic priest because Odell insisted that her son was becoming possessed by Aunt Tilly.
why? Can we leave Aunt Tilly out of this?
Listen, R.I.P. Tilly. Like, don't pay this girl no mind. She's just jelly.
I'm
Um,
confused on how this has to be like, and I don't say this in an offensive way, but like just pure ignorance and not wanting to believe it's something else, considering it happened before Tilly died, and you still want to believe that it's Tilly. Does
yeah,
that make sense? Like, I'm not, and
it makes sense to me.
I don't say that in a nasty, rude way. I guess I just don't know a better way of describing that, but it's like, you had this going on before, so why do you think it's her so strongly?
Yeah, well, I mean, it only happened for about a week, and maybe the dates are blurred, and I don't know for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
that's fair.
and
That's fair.
also in 1949, they didn't have sightings, and they didn't have the ghost
Yeah.
hunters, and they didn't have, all of the stuff that we have access to
Taps
today.
was not a thing.
No, yeah, he wasn't even a glimmer in his daddy's eye in 1949.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Mm.
Um,
Jason
yeah.
Hawes
You
doing the
love that
Lord's
man.
work. That's right. Wait, pause real quick.
Okay.
Did you see somebody donated $100,000 the other night?
Yeah, somebody donated 4 2 nights before that. That's how he's up so high.
Wait,
He's got Yes.
they donated
Yes.
400 to I knew he had somebody who was going to donate 400,000 after
Mhm.
we got
Yeah.
to 600,000.
Mhm.
So another
Yeah,
person?
and he himself is doubling everything that's
Yes.
donated. So,
Yes.
I mean, I find it hard to believe that somebody and the people are still contributing. So,
Oh,
I find it hard to
100%.
believe that he's not gonna get that house.
I I will be so upset if he doesn't.
Yeah, same. Same, same.
We're
Yeah.
talking about the Conjuring house. Go support Jason Hawes and
Yeah.
his GoFundMe to buy the Conjuring house, to save the Conjuring house.
Shout out, Jason. We
Shout
love you.
out. Okay, I'm so sorry.
It's
Continue.
okay. Um, so the family what did I say? Okay, we talked about the Catholic priest that Reverend Schultz suggested, and the
Yes.
family quickly rejected a second religion weighing in on their son's condition.
Really?
Mhm. Left to their own devices, they decided a change of scenery might be helpful. Okay. The family boarded the train to St. Louis. They would be staying with his brother, his father's brother, and his family for a few weeks. Ronald was happy to see them, especially his cousin Neil, who was about his age. The first day was going well, so well, in fact, that Odell asked her sister in law about the possibility of Ronald enrolling in school there.
After one
Less-
day?
Oh, it wasn't even the whole day. It
She
wasn't
was
even
trying
the
to
whole
get
day.
out. She was trying to escape. They didn't go for a
I don't
brief
blame her.
visit. She went to talk to them about moving is what she
Yeah,
did.
yeah. I mean, they're
I mean,
desperate.
fair. Like,
Yeah.
you know what? I can't say that I wouldn't have done the same.
No sooner did she ask that question than a scream from upstairs sent the adults running into Neil's room. Neil was cowering in the corner, and Ronald was holding his chest and writhing in pain. When his father lifted his shirt, there were bloody scratches. Some of them looked to spell out no school. Needless to say, Odell never inquired about enrolling him in school again.
I know this is 49, but did they take like, is there any photographic evidence of that?
I believe there is, and I believe that the monks in the later on we're going to be in another location, and I believe that monks did keep that. It's not been released. I mean, they were really guarding it.
Okay.
They were pretty good about guarding it, but I believe that that's true, but I don't know for sure.
Okay.
That night, a bouncing, vibrating bed woke up the whole house. It appeared the change of scenery was not that helpful.
Yeah, auntie said, "I'm coming too."
Janice, Roland's older cousin, offered to speak to a Jesuit professor at college about Ronald's condition. She arranged a meeting, and the family explained everything that had happened. Father Raymond Bishop agreed to meet the boy. He's going to be a big deal in here.
Now, hold up. Hold up. So, their own church recommended the Catholic Church. They were
Mhm.
strongly against that, but now the cousin's like, "Hey, come meet with this guy at my school." And
I
they're
think she
like,
really thought that going across country was going to
"Was gonna
stop all
help."
this. And now
Okay.
that it didn't help, I think she's like, shit, what am I going
Okay.
to do now?
Okay.
And then here comes helpful little Janice and is like, hey, I can talk to the Jesuits, which, by the way, I didn't know what Jesuit, I had heard the term Jesuit before, but I didn't know what that was until um, I did this research. Did you know what that is?
Nope, still don't. I was trying to play it off like I did.
Oh, no, that's okay. It was, I mean, I'm a lot older than you and I didn't know what it was, but Jesuits are special. Um, s- they have special degree because they study Jesus. They used to be, I think, called Scholars of Jesus, I believe.
Are they non-denominational?
Nope, they're Catholic.
Oh,
It's
they are
just a
Catholic.
sect of
Okay.
Catholicism. Yeah,
I should
yes.
probably know that then, considering
Well, probably not because, I mean, I think that's for like super devout. Oh,
oh,
maybe your
okay.
dad. I bet your daddy knows.
Um, my grandma would've. I don't know if
Yeah,
dad does or not. He might. With grandma
yeah.
being so
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Them Catholic boys don't forget. My daddy died at 89, and he definitely knew.
Yeah, I mean, grandma was devout Irish Catholic, and my grandpa is too, but not the way that grandma was, but, I mean, I know my dad, so I assume my uncles as well spent time in the Catholic schools, so they had to, yeah, I'm sure that's why I'm kind of surprised that I don't know it, but I also
Well,
didn't could.
one of the criteria to become an exorcist is that you are a Jesuit.
Well, fun fact, right before my grandma met my grandpa, she was working, like, in the process to become a nun. I don't think I ever told you that.
Oh, no, I love that.
Yeah,
Oh,
so she
sorry.
was yeah, sorry, Jesus. Yeah, no, she was, like, very devout. So you
Mhm.
had to be a Jesuit
Jesuit, yeah. Yep.
to be an exorcist. Okay,
Mhm.
that makes
There are
sense.
yeah.
That makes
I
sense.
mean, listen, they got the shit down.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that only Catholics can do exorcisms, but I am saying they perfected it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, if a Catholic can't get that demon out of you, you're just going to hell. I don't
You're
know what
yeah,
to tell you.
you're done, sorry. Accept the L, try again next time. Well, I wonder if this because we know the Catholic Church has a lot of religious relics and goodies.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna touch on that too a little bit.
Okay. I wonder if
Yeah.
that has anything to do with any of that. Okay.
Yeah. Um, Father Bishop found Ronald quiet and polite. Ronald found school boring and ran it at about the middle of the pack as far as his grades went. He certainly did not find Ronald the kind of child to give his parents this kind of trouble. Just for funsies.
Right.
Following their talk, Father went from room to room, giving the blessing and sprinkling holy water. He also brought a holy relic, which he safety pinned to the back of Ronald's pillow. It was a bit of fabric blessed by Saint Mary Margaret, considered to be second class. First class being something from a saint's actual person. So that's going to
Yes.
be a lock of hair.
Mhm.
I
The
think I've heard people
eyeballs.
say a thumb. Um,
Saint was it Saint Lucia's eyeballs?
San Lucia. Yeah.
Stan Lucia.
Yes. The eyes of San Lucia. Yes. Yep.
Oh,
Um,
Lucy.
yeah. Sorry about it, sis.
Yeah.
How about that bread that y'all make called the eyes of San Lucia?
I don't make it.
I don't understand it. Why do you want that? Why do you want to call it that? Anyway, okay. Um, or like a lock of hair, whatever. Okay. The priestly blessing was an act of low level exorcism, which I didn't know either. Any priest could perform this act against the lowest degree of demon activity, infestation. This may cause sleep disturbances and nightmares along with feeling unwell. Father might have already suspected that this could be unsuccessful since the parents have told him about Ronald suffering anxiety, depression, and scratches, along with other physical manifestations, which would be part of the next um, degree of demon activity, which is oppression.
Yes.
But there is a process and a good reason for the order. If he did not witness it, he cannot address it. The next degree is obsession that afflicts, you cannot have a clear thought, and you're robbed of sleep. This is when we lose a lot of them, the victims of possession, to suicide.
Really?
Hmm.
Okay.
Possession is the highest degree of demon activity, and
Mhm.
that may only be addressed by an exorcist according to the Catholic Church. So this is another one of those things. Ronald was preparing for bed after saying goodbye to the priest. Father was bidding goodnight to the adults when banging and screaming came from Ronald's room. They ran, which he has his own room now. They've moved him out of Neil's room because Neil was like,
But still in the same house?
in the same house. He's still
Okay.
at his uncle's house. Yeah. Um, they ran the stairs to find the bed vibrating and Ronald howling and holding his stomach. His father sprinkled holy water and the activity stopped immediately.
But father is still there?
Yeah,
Okay.
he was
He's
just
just about to
leaving.
leave. Okay.
Yeah, yep. Um, it began the okay. Father sprinkled holy water and the activity stopped immediately, but began again when father stepped out in the hall to speak to the parents. Odell pulled back the covers and lifted Ronald's top to reveal zigzag scratches all the way down his abdomen. The relic was across the room. The pin was still pinned. It was
Like, it
just
was,
across.
like, ripped or something out?
Well, the pillow wasn't ripped, and Ronald said he
Oh,
didn't do it. So, yeah,
okay.
I mean, that's all they know. Also, they didn't see the scratches appear, but they were there. And father later said he described it as somebody had drawn on him with a thorn. That's what he said it looked like to him.
Oh, ouch.
Father Bishop returned the next day with his trusted friend and fellow Jesuit, Father William Bodern. Father Bodern brought 3 holy relics with him: a chip of bone from Saint Xavier, and a crucifix hollowed out with 2 other relics in it. They weren't really described, um, but he spoke with Ronald for a while about just what's been happening. He only wanted to collect information for his own. Father said goodnight to Ronald and went downstairs with the other adults. Immediately, Ronald cried out. They went upstairs to find that St. Margaret Mary's relic was again across the room. The boy was white as a ghost. He told them he felt something evil in the room and the relic just flew. This is also marks the first time that he's aware of what's going on.
What do
Since
you
he's been at
wait,
his uncle's house, he has not really, so things happen and he doesn't really understand why everybody's so upset because he is not having recall on these situations.
how old is he?
13.
13. Okay.
Yeah. He's a
Okay,
kid.
so he's going through this, but he's not recalling, like, he's not actually, um
This time he did. This was the first time that he did
okay,
remember.
okay.
They said that he would sort of wash over
Lucid
like in
kinda
a
thing. Okay.
trance
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
most of the time. He would be like, "Well, I'm here and I'm breathing, but I'm not motoring this vehicle." Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Somebody else is driving. Um so they found him as white as a ghost. He told them he felt something evil in the room and the relic just flew. Suddenly, he screamed and grabbed his forearm. This time, scratches appeared in the shape of a cross. Father Bowden reacted as calmly as possible and took out the holy relics in his bag. He began the prayer of Saint Xavier. When he finished, he blessed Ronald and pinned the crucifix to his pillow next to the Margaret Mary relic. The activity ceased for the evening, and it was at this point Father Bishop would begin his case file, that is now known as the Exorcist Diary today. That's the thing that was leaked
Okay.
in the 70s that caused William Blatty, the guy who wrote The Exorcist, to write The Exorcist and change everybody's name because he knew it was a true story.
Okay.
I think he went to Georgetown. I think he went to Georgetown, and somehow their parapsychology department got a hold of it.
So we have 2 fathers now.
Father Bishop, who was the
Who was
original,
OG? Okay.
yeah, and then Father Bodern, who is older and has more experience, but he just stepped in
Okay.
just now.
Okay.
Okay. Also, I, he was chosen because he was a Jesuit and he had so much experience. He was um a chaplain in during World War II.
Oh,
So he had seen a lot.
okay.
So that's how he was chosen to be the exorcist in this case. I don't believe that he ever did another. I think there are exorcists now that that's literally all they do. They do exorcisms, period. That's their function in the church. That's what they do. But back then, I could not find where exorcism was assigned to one man who just traveled and, went where they thought the exorcisms were. So this was, I believe, his one and only. I couldn't find anything where it said that he continued on after this. It was pretty
Okay.
dramatic. Okay. Let's see. The diary was concealed by the church until sometime in the early 70s when it was leaked in its entirety. The two priests approached the archbishop, as is custom, to grant permission for the exorcism. They were shocked to find it granted so quickly.
Probably because
There,
they got 2 of them.
yeah, yes, probably. And also, it's dramatic. This isn't, oops. This is a priest literally saw a cross drawn on this
Yeah.
kid's arm. So there are 48 signed sworn witnesses to the following events. So
Wow.
we're just moving from the diary forward.
Okay.
March 14th, Father Bishop and Father Bodern and a Jesuit student who they chose of their choosing, that was Walter Halloran. He did end up becoming a priest also. Um, Arrived at the home of Ronald's uncle, prepared to do an exorcism. They climbed the stairs and the priest pulled out their purple stoles. So handsome when they have their
Yep.
little purple stoles on. Pulled their purple stoles out and kissed them and placed them around their neck. They each had a copy of the official Ritual Romanum and a bottle of holy water. Um, I never heard of the Ritual Romanum before I did this case. Have you ever heard of that before?
I'm sure I have.
Okay.
Maybe not, like, by name, because that doesn't sound
Exactly.
yeah.
I knew there was a script. I just didn't know what
Yes.
it was called.
Yeah,
Yeah, yes.
exactly.
Yes. They were followed by Ronald's mother, aunt, and uncle. Father Bowden blessed the boy with holy water and a prayer, and then everyone present knelt in prayer next to the bed. He went into a trance. First, the mattress slid a little. Then the bed lifted from the frame and banged against the floor over and over again. When the prayers of the exorcism was read aloud, the bed stopped moving and Ronald started moaning softly. The moans turned into violent shrieks, and the boy tore open his shirt. Cat-like scratches. Now, um, this is Father Boder now saying that they looked like cat scratches. Um, Appeared before everyone's eyes. The scratches spelled out hell. He writhed and twisted back and forth. His eyes were closed, but there was wild movement underneath, that you could see it in his lids. Father Bodern spoke the last sacred words of the exorcism. They all said amen. Immediately, all activity stopped. The child appeared to be sleeping soundly. no longer in a trance, just sleeping. The following day, Ronald got up and ate breakfast at the table with everyone else. He had no memory of anything that happened the night before, and he went on about a normal day, even playing board games with the family that afternoon.
Do you think it's ever actually that easy? Like, I hate saying easy because that's a horrible term to use, but yeah,
Mm-mm, no, I don't.
I feel like it's never that simple. Like, I feel like it's gotta be more.
Right. Well, we probably, I mean, maybe not the ritual per se, but we probably know more about possession as, student, housewife, average Joe
Yeah.
than these priests did at that time because
Yeah.
we're exposed to it. So we know
No,
that's
that's true.
Hollywood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
So they were, I'm sure that they were encouraged. I bet the family was for sure. Um, anyway, in spite of his very ordinary behavior, Father Bodern thought it would be best if Ronald stayed a few nights in the hospital. He arranged for him to stay at the Alexian Brothers Hospital, which was run by monks, and hopefully the family could get some much needed rest while he was under observation. Ronald settled into his room and prepared for bed. The priest prepared for the sacrament, which exorcism is a sacrament, which I also didn't know. Um, the priest prepared for the sacrament that would end the boy's torment. His father would be present tonight because he wanted to support his son. They all gathered around the bed and began to pray. Ronald's limbs began to flail unnaturally. His face was relaxed, his body was quite stiff. Halloran attempted to stop the child's limbs, which is basically why Halloran is there. He's basically there to muscle,
Okay.
and not be afraid. Um, so Halloran attempted to stop the child's limbs from banging against the bars, but he was unsuccessful. His limbs were moving even faster now and picking up speed. His body now began to convulse, and he launched himself up out of the bed, laying flat on the floor, unmoving. Father Bodern knew it was not over. They gathered him up and put him back into bed. About midnight, the boy sat up a little. He looked at his dad, cursed him, and spat in his face. He began delivering sharp kicks and crushing blows to everyone he could reach. He broke Halloran's nose. It took 4 grown men to hold him down while Father Bodering continued the prayers of exorcism. At some point, the boy went limp and fell into a natural deep sleep.
Having 4 grown men hold down a 13-year-old boy is wild.
That's really crazy. I'm so
Like,
glad that this was all documented and it wasn't just they didn't just, it's a secret and we're just going to keep it between us. I'm so glad that they did this. It's so
yeah.
important. So, the exorcisms just like this one went on for 28 days.
Holy
28
shit.
days. All as devastating as this one, some worse. The diary reports accounts of superhuman strength, spitting, vomiting, urinating, speaking in Latin and Aramaic, objects moving, and mirrors breaking, having never been touched. They baptized him Catholic, took him to communion. I'm sorry, he took communion multiple times, all in an attempt to save him. Fighting hell was taking its toll on Father Bodern. He'd lost 40 pounds since the ordeal began. 40 pounds in 28 days. He's not sleeping, he's not eating.
Oh my god.
He prayed constantly. He asked St. Michael, God's warrior, the archangel, for guidance and strength multiple times a day. The last night, Father Bowden and his team gathered for hours. The priest prayed over Ronald from the ritual Romanum. The child screamed and arched his body, fighting against the restraints. Father spoke the final words of the exorcism, Amen. Ronald's fell limp, and the room was eerily silent. The priests were exchanging glances and waiting for the demons to make their next move. Suddenly, Ronald inhaled deeply. He began speaking in a new voice, deep and booming and manly, much different than the hissing vocal fry they'd been used to hearing 27 days prior. I am Saint Michael the Archangel. I command you, Satan, and all evil spirits to leave this body in the name of Dominus. Now, now, now.
I know you can't see this, but my eyes are watering.
That is powerful as fuck. Jesus Christ.
Are you joking? I'm gonna cry.
the Are you okay?
No! What?
Yes. It's huge. It's huge. Mhm.
Oh
The
my
first time I read that,
god!
I was so
I got
sweaty.
chills. Like, my
Yes.
eyes literally instantly started watering.
Yep. Yep. The Exorcist Diary read that what came next was the most violent contortions of the entirety of the exorcism, all 27 days prior. Ronald's body painfully twisted and contorted and spasmed. Then he fell quiet. It was only a moment before he sat up, smiled widely, and said, "He's gone." The
In his own
exorcism,
voice?
the exorcism was finished, yes, in his own voice. Ronald returned to school the following fall. Later, he excelled in college studies and lived a remarkably normal life, graduating from college and being hired by NASA. I don't know how normal that is. Retiring in 2000. He patented foamed in place ceramic insulating material. It's used on space vehicles to prevent the burnup on reentry.
Oh.
Ronald Edwin Hunkler passed away in Maryland in 2020. He was 85. He was
That's
85.
wild.
Yeah, that's crazy. What do you think of that?
I need to back this up for a second.
Girl, do you want a glass of wine or something? What's wrong with you?
I don't know what that was, but you, like, saying those words of, like, I am who was it? Was it Saint Michael?
St. Michael. Mm-hmm.
Like, did something to me.
Yeah. You know why? Because those words are magical. And they came from a magical being. Yeah. Same.
Like, that was instant. I'm not joking when I tell you, like, chills and tears immediately filled my eyes. That's not something you see every day. Like,
Yeah. It's insane. Yeah. Yeah.
and like to think of this powerful being coming in, regardless of your belief, like putting belief systems aside, like this powerful being coming in to save one 13-year-old boy. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Prayer is real. Prayer is real.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's, that is one part of the story I'd never heard. And I'm so glad I didn't until now because what?
Yeah.
Michael said, hold up. Y'all can't handle this, so let me step in. He said, I got it. Don't worry. I gave you 28 days. I'm going to help out now.
Listen, Father Bodern, I got all your messages and I'm here now.
God. Whatever 28 times 3 is? I'm not doing the math right now. I got every single one of them. Okay? I heard you loud and clear. I'm on my way. I had other meetings to attend to.
Right.
Is there
Not me
any
just protecting the universe. It's fine.
Yeah, literally. Let me come down and save a 13-year-old boy. No, but, if you look at this from a spiritual aspect, jokes aside, like, that had to have been something even more powerful than we can fucking comprehend.
Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
do we have is there anything on record that you're aware of that happening with any other exorcism? Like a saint literally coming in and
I have not heard of such a thing myself. I am hungrily um devouring all kinds of possession stories currently. I've not come across one like that yet. I do oh, yeah, before I forget, I do want to so I did talk about please open. I did talk about HBO Max and the Exorcism of Roland Doe. It was okay. It was informational.
Okay.
Um I also I watched so many things that I can't address on YouTube. I didn't finish most of them because I had already read the books and either they were
Repeating.
not correct or they were
Oh,
just repeating.
yeah.
So um Beyond the Exorcist, the untold story of the real Roland Doe. That is by Depeche Pipwani. Um, Also informational, but in a good way that he broke down everything. I
Oh.
really did like that. The book that told the story, though, and gave the tea every night for 28 nights
Oh.
took me forever to read. Well, I had to consume it in smaller bites because it was so harsh. It was so harsh. Um, poor Ronald. Like that was he was tormented terribly. And they were just trying so hard. But it goes over every single night if you'd like to read that.
Holy shit.
It is called The Devil Came to St. Louis. And oh, uncensored. Sorry. It was updated in 2025. So there is some more current information if you get the updated version.
What does that
Um,
mean? What do you mean more current?
So I think it just because his name had been released since he had written the book, I think in
Oh,
2016ish or maybe 2018 while he had passed away. So his name was updated and things like that. So
okay.
there's more information in the new one. The Devil Came to St. Louis Uncensored. It's the true story of the 1949 exorcism by Troy Taylor. Oh, chef's kiss on this book. It was so good and it was so detailed.
I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to read that.
Yeah, it's really good. I have it on Kindle, otherwise I'd let you borrow it.
I'll probably do Kindle too. Yeah.
I think it actually might be free on Kindle.
Oh, like through Kindle Unlimited?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep, yep,
I've got that.
yep.
Well, my mom's got it that I use.
Huh. Thank you for being patient with me. I know that was a lot of information, and I only covered 2 of the actual, rites of exorcism. Imagine the book. Yeah.
I mean, so I have this, and again, maybe not the best wording for this. So I have this mm, fascination with exorcisms. And I don't know if it's a spiritual reasoning behind that. Um, I know, I grew up Irish Catholic, and my grandma was very, very Catholic. We already talked about that. So I don't know if it stems from that, and maybe there's just something in my subconscious that I have no idea. Um, But this is a topic I actually really, again, lack of better terms here, I really enjoy. I think it's very powerful. It's not something that happens as often as people believe, but when you have something like this, I mean, that's just it's otherworldly. It's really I don't know. I don't know.
It's unbelievable. It's,
Yeah.
I believe it, but it is unbelievable.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. There's too many witnesses. The story had so many details, and he wrote that book, that Troy Taylor wrote that book, based on that exorcist diary. So, and when I was looking for material, I definitely didn't see that anybody else had done that.
Which
Not
is
in it.
very it's a very, in my opinion, great thing to do if you're, which I'm assuming he did, um, if you stick to the facts of it.
Yes. Yes.
I think it's you said this earlier, very, very important and informational, and it's very important for us to know things like that moving forward in time.
I'm sure whoever leaked it, that was the reason why they leaked it, because we all need this information. We need it.
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, imagine how many other things the church, definitely the Catholic Church, but how many other churches as well, or other religions have things that we can't even fathom.
Yes. Yeah. The Vatican's full. The Vatican is
100%.
full of things that we probably wouldn't even be able to comprehend. But
Like,
they are collecting up things, and I often, just wanna step back and watch when I
yeah.
notice that somebody's doing that. I just wanna watch. Let me see what you're doing. I don't need You don't need to talk to me about it. I don't need to talk to anybody about it, but I know what you got.
Well, yeah, like, I just, again, I'm just fascinated by it. I enjoy learning about it. Um, I always joke with people that I would love to get into the military just so I can work at Area 51, just so I could know what's going on there, right? Like, I just wanna know. I won't say
Yeah.
anything, I swear. That's how I feel about the church. Like, I just wanna know. And I find it fascinating to learn, and there's so many things that are incomprehensible in this world.
Mhm.
We don't even know who built the pyramids. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I love it. I mean, that's why we started this podcast is,
Yeah.
just talking about it and different facts that we do know and different theories that we may have or come across.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, if anybody has any information, or any stories, even if
yeah.
it's not related to, little Ronald, who I guess he's not
Yeah.
little Ronald anymore. I guess
He'll always
he's
be little Ronald to us. Little Ronnie.
Well, he called him Ronnie throughout the entire book. He's like, "Well,
That's
I'm calling him Ronnie. He's a 13-year-old kid, and that's what I'm calling
that's
him."
precious.
Yeah,
I
I
love
love
that.
that. Yeah,
I love
yes.
that.
Yeah, if anybody knows anything and they'd like to share that, they can,
Yes.
or even if they have some questions, or if,
Yeah.
they have other information or contrasting information, all of it. We wanna hear about it, and
Yep.
where would they contact us at?
You can email us at thechamberofshadows@gmail.com, or you can find us on TikTok and Instagram at the Chamber of Shadows.
Oh, yeah, don't forget YouTube.
Oh, yes, and YouTube. Sorry. I forget that we're on there. Um, so yes, I know I've got the photos to post for the Sally house. And then you have pictures
I
for
do. I will
this?
s
Okay.
yes, I'll send them to you tonight so they can be up by tomorrow.
Okay.
for our Halloween
Halloween!
episode.
Here's a boy, Ronnie. I love that. I'm so glad that he lived a long, happy, successful life.
Yeah. Yeah, he owned a patent to something that NASA's using. He was sick rich, bruh. He was sick rich. Yeah. Yes.
I wonder if he had anything that maybe he didn't talk about. Because isn't this kind of a theme too? Like, when you have something spiritual like that happen to you that, like, you have, I don't know if it's an intuition or, like, something unique about you spiritually. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I don't know if he felt that. I did see where um a female friend of his, I don't believe Ronald ever married. I couldn't find anything. Um but he did have a female friend and she said every Halloween he's out. He because he still lived in Maryland and he did not want his peace interrupted. You can't come to me and try to talk to me about this. I don't want to talk about it. I'm not
Fair,
going to talk about it. And that, I mean,
fair.
let the man live. Let
It's
him live.
documented. It's
Yeah.
documented. We'll get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Same. But, I mean, people are hungry for information. And I can't say that if I was sitting next to him in a
yeah.
pew, I wouldn't ask him if he wanted to be interviewed. I mean,
No,
he might,
100%.
yeah, he might tell me to pound salt, but I'm going to ask. I'm
Yeah.
asking. So, I mean, and that's why
I
he's
get it.
not.
I mean, as humans, we
Yeah.
have that natural curiosity. I'm
Yeah.
nosy. I like knowing everything.
Mhm.
So, I get it. So there's no, like, mention anywhere of him having something like a supernatural power or anything like that?
No,
Okay.
no, just that he was borderline genius coming up with this kind of stuff, but,
Yeah, I bet he was.
yeah. And I also, found it interesting and natural that, he didn't do great in school, and he was only in middle school when this started, and he did okay and ran the middle of the pack, but then he got to college and was
Yeah.
like, yeah, this is my jam. This is
But you know
where
what?
yeah,
That doesn't surprise me because, I mean, sometimes you just get into what you're interested in college and you just take off
yeah. Yep.
because you're actually interested in it. You're not forced to learn all of this Pythagorean theorem
Minutia. Yeah.
like
Yes.
mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. It's my second time saying that today. But you know what I mean? Like,
Yes. Yeah,
it's
I do.
yeah, you get into your spiel, and of course, I'm sure he did do excellent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you did a great job. Is there anything you would like to add?
Thank you. I don't have anything to add other than, please like, share, and subscribe. Happy
Yay!
Halloween.
Happy Halloween! We will be back next week. And with that, I guess I bid you adieu. Sayonara, adios. Peace
Au
out.
revoir.
Au revoir.
Deuces.
Bye.
Bye.